Testing. Yeah, getting sound. All right. Sorry about that, folks. On the on-air test, has been there off there, but that's okay. Welcome everybody to the Rapid Reaction SummerSlam 2691. This is your boy AJTRIP, and tonight I thought was a pretty nice night for the wrestling. We had some very good stuff here. Um, we had maybe one. We had one thing that I did not like. We'll get to that. As when we get to it. But overall, I thought this was, fantastic. Some things surprised me. What happened here, but we'll just go ahead and talk about it. We opened with Liv Morgan versus Io Sky for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. This was Liv's first defense, and I had in my prediction episode said that I believe that there was no way that Liv Morgan was gonna lose, you know, her her first title defense. Gonna Sasha Banks it. She just wasn't gonna do it, and it didn't happen here. These has a really good match, really good chemistry between these two. Of course, we had the ladies come out, Raquel and Roxanne. But they caused a little hustle, but they didn't fall necessarily into the match. We did get some chicanery from those two. But otherwise, this was a really well wrestled match between the two of them, and I can see why Triple H said he sees Liv Morgan as a ring general out there because I think she is definitely she is definitely really good, and I think that she can probably call a match as good as anyone. And on the women's side. So good for her. We ended up with hitting a Oblivion. Io Sky flipped out of it. Then we had like I guess I think it was maybe a super kick or something like that, which made Io go back into the rope again, and then Io hit Liv hit a true Oblivion, which Io didn't flip out of onto Io 1, 2, 3 to victory, and Liv Morgan is still your Women's World Heavyweight Championship champion. I did have 4 stars. I thought this was again some really good action, good way to open up the show. The Minnesota crowd wasn't really into anything. I don't think. I really don't think they were really into anything. Either that or the stadium didn't project it. The stadium was a big stadium. That could be one of the things that is, they've always wondered. Everybody's wondered, do these big stadiums, whether they're open air or whether they're enclosed, does the sound just go up and die somewhere instead of staying like down low and where it can be heard, calling the mics and everything like that? Because some people will tell you that. Well, I'm sure there are going to be some people that will tell you that the crowd was loud and vocal all night long. Who was there in the stadium? They'll tell you that. They'll do TikToks and Instagram reels about it. Or they'll talk about it on X, Twitter. I can't believe I'm saying to myself, calling it X on Twitter. They'll talk about it on Twitter. But on the TV, it didn't sound like they were really into much at times. But that was here or there. But again, great opening match from Liv and Io. The 6-man tag was next. The Bloodline took a take on Solo, Knight, and Keys. Again, really good action. Oh my god, the power slam over the barricade by Royce Keys was incredible. It was an incredible take, an incredible bump. We had Solo in there. Solo, he ran it back on Jey Uso. It's just insane. And Solo he is absolutely getting over as a baby face. There are many people who have talked about Solo being, Solo Dolo being, maybe less be less serious and more and more like be more lighthearted. Um, I don't think I don't think that should happen. Um, that should happen on a when he was a heel. The baby face, yeah, he could maybe be a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit maybe even goofier. You could say at times. Um, but he was funny here. Um, we ended it with LA Knight hitting the BFT, excuse me, onto Jay actually onto three. So LA Knight gets his victory. I said in my predictions video, even though I chose the Bloodline, I wouldn't be surprised if LA Knight got the victory because then now that puts him in range to get a championship match against Roman Reigns, possibly at the October at it is a long time. It's over 2 months. They don't have anything predicted, unless it's Saturday Night Main Event. I don't know, but I think he would be in line to get the next title shot because he beat Jey Uso. So I had it at 3 1/4 star. Very nice. Next was Gunther versus Aldis, and Nick Aldis was he still got it. Yeah, he still got it. If he wanted to, if he wanted to do this for again a couple more months until WrestleMania, get a WrestleMania match out of it. I wouldn't be I wouldn't be you know I wouldn't be mad at that. 'Cause he was good here. I thought he took control. The situation, he had some great fire, some uh great stuff here. The Gunther was Gunther. Great selling by Nick Aldis, great selling by Gunther. And we had good stuff. Mickey James was there. Gunther was talking shit to Mickey James and their son. So yeah, I thought it was really good. But we had a power bomb kicked out by Aldis into a sleeper. Aldis fought up, but then um, Houston fell back into it, and Nick Aldis had nothing to do but to tap out. Well, I thought it was really enjoyable. I thought it was very, very common sensely, done. So enjoyed it. Truly amazing. I thought it was 3 and 3/4 stars. It was there. Next was the 6 woman tag. Free the Influence against Nikki, Bree, and Paige. And I wasn't that big of a fan um, of what went down here. I wasn't a fan of what went down here. The match was just Um, the match was just and I wasn't a big fan of the stuff after the match as well because the battles lost like they should have. Um, and I wasn't that big a fan of it. So trying to get back to the so that I can just start from the beginning with the uh, yeah, pause it. Yeah, so that they can do with this, I can get back and watch the post game show. Um, but yeah, and the match, Brie looked like she hurt her shoulder very early on in the match, and I don't know if that took it down or whatever, but it just wasn't it. And I'm gonna be a little honest here. I'm not sure if Bree and Nikki are who they are anymore. And here's what I mean by that. I mean that with the most of respect. I love Nikki and Bree. I always have. No, it's they deserve to be legend. They deserve to be Hall of Famers and all that stuff. I'm not one of those that thinks that's insane. I don't do that. I don't denigrate what they did because in the era that they were working in, you know, well, it was a different era. It was a different time. I can remember last Evolution. Last year at Evolution, they had Tori Wilson on the pregame on the pregame show, and she said that she wished that there was in NXT when she was around, so that she could have been properly trained. Instead of the way they did it, where they were training, you know, on the road, where it was fit Finley. And Nikki Bree were trained. They were trained in FCW, but again, they were not trained. They were trained in FCW the way they were trained, the way that to train to work and wrestle like a diva. They were not trained like the way Charlotte and Becky and Sasha and Liv and the girls from Fatal Influence and all those other girls. Who were trained to who were trained to to wrestle. I won't say like one of the guys, but they were trained differently. And I don't know if it's working or not. Um, Not to say that their work is bad or their work isn't great. No, I'm not going to say that because that would be hypocrite for me. I've said it time and time again. The wrestling part of professional wrestling is the last thing you need to be, you know, great at. You need to be great. Just be adequate. And if you got the other parts, you will be a superstar professional wrestler. Ask some of the bigger names in this business who who knew how to wrestle but didn't have to know how to wrestle. They had everything else. But it has seemed like that from time to time, Bree and Nikki, they're trying to keep up with the other girls and they're kind of falling behind. And and I just don't know. And now now they're healed because they lost the match and then they turn on Paige, which I don't know why they do it. They had to do that. I just don't know why they had to turn on Paige. It was just ridiculous. Okay, so you want to move Paige to a different to the singles thing. Nick's back. Brie and Nick fine, and you can do that. You didn't have to turn them heel. I just didn't get it. I didn't like it. It's just bad, bad, bad. And the match was all right. 2.5 stars. For the undisputed WWE Championship, CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. Many people are not going to like this match, but then again, the people who don't like this match are not really truly fans of wrestling. I will always say that, and I always believe in that. This was start slow and build up, and I loved it. And it got build up. There was you saw some stuff here, some finishing moves, block to Cody Rhodes was working Punk's knee, which I thought was great. Um, Punk took a chance and to hit Cody with an elbow when Cody's on the table. Cody rode off. Cody rode off, and CM Punk went through that table. Uh, Cody went for a Cody cutter and hit the referee by mistake. Randy Orton came out, hit Cody with the RKO. CM Punk hit him with a GTS 1, 2, 3. You winner, still champion, CM Punk. So Randy Orton is back, and now we're gonna have Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. They're going to continue their feud from WrestleMania, and we'll see what they do with that. You know, some people have been against Cody Rhodes for a little bit, saying that maybe he needed a heel turn or he at least needed to do a side quest. Well, here's a side quest with Randy Orton. We'll see how long that lasts. The match was 4 1/4 star. And the main event, the Hell in a Cell match, Brock Lesnar and Open Femi. Really, it was not what I thought it was going to be, especially after the bloodbath that we saw, at Bad Blood 2 years ago. I pretty much thought we might have seen we were going to see something here like that. We did, um, and that's fine, um, because the major thing is that what you need to do is one have over Femi win, and two, you wanted to have no doubt in your mind that this was the end of Open Femi and Brock Lesnar. And that's what we saw. We saw Brock Lesnar hit Obafemi with an F5, and then he he hit him up. We hit him with 3 F5s, went for a fourth, but he turned the fourth into a tombstone and changed it to Undertaker. But Obafemi kicked out. It took not only tombstone on the wooden planks that they tore up. It tore off the canvas, tore off the padding under the mat, the wooden boards that they fall on. So yeah, but Femi hit the fall from grace. I think he was going to hit the fall from grace on those planks. He kind of shorted it, but that's okay. 1, 2, 3, Femi wins, and it was a lot shorter than I think some people thought it was going to be. I was kind of thinking maybe it was going to be like 20 minutes, maybe 20 to 25 minutes, something like that. This was probably about this was at least less than 20. It might have been even less than 15. I did check the times of the matches. All the matches seemed to go over 10 minutes. So at least that was it's a little bit more wrestling than WrestleMania, right? So, but yeah, I think all of that went through. But yeah, this was uh, I thought this was very fine, very executed perfectly. Afterwards, Brock Lesnar called Oba from in the ring, said he was the past, Oba was the future. Um, and they walked off. They walked off, left Oba to do this pose. Um, 3.5 stars. So yeah. Hey, listen, you had four matches over 4 stars. You had no no 3 matches that were 3.25 star or better, and then you had 2.5 star 6 women tag match. To me, oh no, that's a very nice night. Night one, very nice night one. Again, I know some people are going to be upset, but again, I think I think some of the people like that, the people who say that this still sucks will just be ridiculous. No, you're just being ridiculous. But the people out there that thought that maybe it wasn't as great as they thought it would be, I don't know what you can do. So anyway, yeah, I thought this was good night one. We got night two coming. We got crown a new interim women's champion. We're going to have Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. We're gonna have Chad Gable and Penta. So there's gonna be some good stuff going on tomorrow night. Hopefully, again they get that Danhausen on a pole match out quickly. Just get first and second match. get in, get out, and then we can start with the true wrestling. All right, y'all. If you're watching on demand, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys let me know down in the comment section what you felt to be uh, the greatest thing to happen tonight. What was the great? Was the best match? Was it disappointing? How did you think it went down? Let me know down in the comment section. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there, and I am out.